Hey, what's going on YouTube? Thanks for tuning back in, and today's video is going to be on how to install OEM running boards in a 2018 Volkswagen Atlas. Now, like just any other video that I have, I'm going to show you what tools are required, I'm going to show you what comes inside this box, and I'm going to show you from start to finish on how to properly install these. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so tools required for this project: a rubber mallet hammer, a Dremel or some kind of cutting tool. Scissors will not work, so don't even try it. Next, a T25 Torx bit, then a 13 millimeter socket, a 10 millimeter socket, 1/4 inch ratchet, torque ratchet right here, 1/4 inch as well, a couple extensions, and then a small flat tip screwdriver. Okay, so this is the way it comes in the box. As you can see, I already took off the top portion, cut the bands, took that off. But I'm just gonna run through it real quick. I really haven't checked if everything is in there. I hope it is, fingers crossed. It comes with a instruction manual on how to install these, and then it also comes with a floor jack adapter that I need to find in here somewhere. It's supposed to be in here somewhere, but again, I haven't taken everything out yet, so hopefully as I go through this, I do find it. But I'm gonna try to take this out piece by piece. Maybe not so much talk about it, but just to ensure that everything's in here that needs to be in here. So. Then I want to say this is the hardware kit box. So I'm going to go back to my workbench, and then I guess we can open this up and see what's in here. Okay, so here comes the hardware kit box that I just pulled out of the big box. I'm going to open it up real quick, see what's in here. The first thing is the floor jack adapter. I don't think I'm going to be using this just due to the fact that I got a 3-ton floor jack already in my garage, so I'm probably going to use that. But let's just say you don't have an extra floor jack, then you're most likely going to need this adapter to get these running boards installed. Again, I'm not going to use it, so I'm just going to keep it in the plastic bag just as such. But just looking at it, it looks like everything comes with it. So, but either way, again, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to set this to the side. If I do really need it, I'll take it out of the box and probably talk about it a little bit more if really need be. Here's all the hardware. Kind of already opened up the plastic a little bit. Just to show you, it does come with the bolts. It already has blue Loctite on there, so you don't have to purchase any. I always carry an extra, but it's a plus. They already got it on there, so I don't have to use my own. Comes with nuts. And then last but not least, the plate assembly. The quantity, let me just check real quick. Should give you this. So it says 10 of these little guys, the plate assemblies. Should be 22 nuts, and then it should be 10 bolts. All right. But yeah, other than that, this is what comes inside the hardware kit box. Okay, so now here we are. We're about to do the installation portion. Just want to let you know I'm already done with the passenger side. And the only thing that may make you not want to do this is that you have to do some cutting. Now, you don't have to do any cutting with any of the items that came in the box as far as the bracket or the running board itself. But underneath on the passenger and driver side, you have skid plates, all right, that protects your undercarriage. Plastic pieces, they come off fine, come off easily. But let's go on the passenger side and let me show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, so here we are now on the passenger side. Like I said, everything is put back together over here. But this is what I was talking about. So the actual bracket that holds the running board in place, once you put this on here, you can see, again, I apologize. I know I probably should have took my time, put some better cuts in there. But again, it's on the bottom. You're not really going to see it. So, but here you're going to have to notch it out. So what I started with the width of the Dremel. So a Dremel bit is, I mean, I don't know the exact same, exact size of the thickness, but it's really thin. So I made one cut, and then come to find out, okay, now I need to go a little bit more inward or outward. So take it back out, do some more cutting, and then back and forth. So for this piece right here, and this has 3 L brackets. So one is right here, and then there's 2 more down this way. I think it took me a good 30-45 minutes from putting it underneath the car, taking it back out, and so on and so forth, just to get these cuts remotely close to where they need to be at. Once you get the cuts wide enough to where everything fits in there, you just got to put in the screws and loosen up or tighten up the nuts again that you see here in a little bit on the driver's side. So,
all right, now since the skid plate is out, I know it's kind of flipped the other way around, but this is the best way to show you. So again, just like in the still image, everywhere there's like one of these little holes, that's gonna have a 10 millimeter nut in there. So with that 10 millimeter nut, you're gonna have to unscrew it until it's loose. As you saw me, now with this piece, I was struggling a little bit because right here is a clip. All right, you can put a flat tip in there and then try to loosen it up, but I ran into the same problem with the passenger side. I just kind of pulled on it a little bit harder until it popped out. Now here's a screw right there. There's a screw right there. Let's see if I can find the other ones real quick. And then you're gonna have 4 screws right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want to say it's a total of 6 screws. But either way, skid plate is out. So now we can move on to the next step of installing these running boards. Okay, so what I just did, I took out these plastic pieces. They got little, as you can probably see right here, the first one. The ones that I took out, so again, leave the first one, take the second, third one out, leave the fourth one, and then take out 5, 6, and 7. And then right here, the little plastic cover. So just put those to the side. I highly doubt you ever need these again. I'm probably just going to toss mine because I'm going to keep the running boards on there. I really have no intent of taking them off anytime soon. So, okay, so now you're going to need the plate assembly and a bolt. And via the instructions, it says for the first one, the longer portion of the plate assembly needs to face outboard. So place it in there, and then what I found out to be the easiest way is kind of push the bolt up, but have control of the bolt, because not if this whole thing slides in, you're most likely not going to get it back out. So push it in, and then as you're holding the bolt, just push up on it, and then it should pop into place. All right, there we go, just like such. So now for the next 3, they're supposed to face inboard on the vehicle. Again, this is the plate portion right here that I'm talking about, the longer one. So once you put the actual bolt in there, they're all supposed to face like this, these next 3. And then the very last one is supposed to be just like the first one I put in there. It's supposed to face outboard. So let me get these installed. Install these. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the bracket. The only thing is, once we install the bracket, we don't want to make these super tight yet, because you still have to put the running board itself on there and adjust it and align it. So if you make these too tight and you run into the problem like I did with the passenger side, then you have to loosen them up, then you have to loosen the other bolts up, and so on and so forth. So it's just a big pain in the butt. So keep in mind, loose tight. You will also see, I'm going to be here for a second because all this coating they have underneath the vehicle. What I ran into the passenger side, hopefully it doesn't happen on the driver's side, but I had to push pretty hard on the bracket, so a little bit of the actual bolt will show, so I can get the nut in there to actually get a bite and then tighten it up. So you may not run into that problem. I know I did on the passenger side, so know me already, I got a funny feeling I'm gonna have the same problem over here, but hopefully not. But yeah, let's get to it and install the bracket. Okay, so now before I actually continue, so I got 2 nuts in. You saw how I struggled with that. It's just so much coating under there that you really got to press on it. And then a little trick that I found, you take a small flathead and you stick it in the threads of the screw without messing up the bolt. But I just pushed up on it, pinched the actual bolt, and then I took the nut and just got it on there, so I got enough threads on there. So now what I'm going to do is, I know I said this at the beginning, don't tighten these all the way up, but I'm going to have to tighten this all the way up to get the rest of them in, because some of them are not even shown underneath the hole. So some are like still hidden behind the hole. So I'm going to tighten these up. Once I tighten all of them up, then I'm going to loosen them back up, and then I'm going to put the running board on.
Okay, so they're all loosened up now. So I'm gonna bring the camera over here, show you the running board, and then I'm gonna show you exactly where these screws need to go that are already on the running board.
Okay, so here are the bolts. There are two more right there. Just like I said, once you actually put these in a bracket, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not, don't put them just pretty much like right beside each other. Put them at an angle, and that's again going to be with all of them. Now here's the tricky part. You're gonna have to get all these in the holes, or all these bolts into these holes right here. So the best way I did it was, once I aligned it, I put one right here, and then I put another one right here. So I just pretty much crossed them. And I pretty much just kept the same pattern for all three. So for this one, and that one.
So now all 6 bolts are just like this on every L-shaped elbow on this bracket, and now I can slide it back and forth. So now if I could position it where I want to, but I'm not going to do that yet because there's one more last thing that I have to do before I actually place this running board exactly where I need it at. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to take the actual bracket, and I'm going to take a rubber mallet hammer, and I'm going to tap it forward. So the way the instructions say to install it, there's a sweet spot in there, but once I put it in there, there was like barely any running board actually to step on. So is I'm going to do, I'm going to take the bracket, tap it out a little bit. Once I tap it out, I'm going to start tightening up the actual bolts, and then once I tighten them all up and got this position where I need to position that, what I can do then is start on the skid plates itself. So with that being said, let's get to it. So there's one thing that I forgot to mention before I actually start getting into this and start tightening all these up. This is the sweet spot that I was talking about earlier. So it's this circle. So it's supposed to be dead center in there. Well, I didn't do that. So I did from the 3 to 9 o'clock. I ensured those were centered. The sides I really didn't care about. So what I did, I kind of just used my rubber mallet hammer and just started beating on this side to get it as close as I can, further pushing outward so that I have more of a board to step on.
And the running board is installed on the bracket. It's not torqued down to spec yet. That's going to be the very last thing I'm going to do. Last thing, like I said, the aligning part of this. So right here, this is where this little guy needs to be at. So let me try to line this up and then show you. Okay, so as you can see, this back end right here of the running board needs to be flush with the actual door, okay? Because once this is flush, I'll bring you to the front real quick. It's going to be flush right here with this center plastic piece, so with this little notch. So that is the sweet spot. That's where you need to have the running boards aligned. So we're in the home stretch right now. I just got done torquing down the bolts again to 20 foot-pounds. I'm going to start out with the back portion and the back portion plate, and I'm going to put it underneath and roughly put it to where the screws and the nuts will be when you tighten it up. Once I get there, and let's just say this is my bracket right here, the 2 fingers, I would take my permanent marker and I would mark it roughly where those are at. Once I mark them, I'm going to take my Dremel and then I'm just going to make a straight cut down about 2.5 inches inward. Once I make that cut, I'm going to go back underneath and then roughly try to position it where this should actually go. And then I'm going to see how far I'm off or if I'm dead center. If I'm dead center, I'm just going to widen it up to about a 1/4 inch width. If I need to go a little bit more to the left or right, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm also going to do about a 1/4 inch. So remark it, take it back out, and then so on and so forth until it actually aligns and needs to be where it actually needs to be, or goes where it needs to be. So same thing for this one. Again, I'm not going to record that part. And then once it comes to the point where you have the notches where they need to be at, Just rewind to the beginning of the video where I showed you where all the bolts and nuts are at. No torque spec on these. They are made out of plastic, so if you yank on them too much, you're going to strip them, so don't do that. Hand tight, you'll be good, and the same thing with the screws. Okay, just to show you, this is give or take where the actual L bracket was. So I'm going to cut into here. The plus about this is just me showing you this one is because there's only one. So with the other one, you're going to have the remaining 5 to notch out. So again, this is why I'm just showing you this one. But again, I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to go into about, like I said, about 2.5 inches. Cuts about right here. And then I'm just going to play the back and forth game of going underneath the vehicle, making sure it's good. If not, take it back out and keep putting more notches in there and cutting a little bit more away until it's perfect in there. So I positioned this underneath the vehicle. This is the cut. I'm going to clean it up a little bit later. The remainder of the plastic that I cut off, but it looks to be almost dead center on it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to shave off a little bit on the right and left hand side, and then make it again, like I said, about that 1/4 inch width. As far as the length of going in, I want to say right here I'm golden for right now. If by any chance I'm not, I'm just going to cut it a little bit further inward to give that extra playroom. But again, like it seems as of right now, I'm good where I need to be at. So let me make these last bit cuts and see where we're at. Okay, so checked it. We're golden. It looks like to be about 2.5 inches, just like I said earlier. Maybe close to 3 inches, and then with about a 1/4 inch width. So that's what you're looking at. I'm going to clean it up just a little bit. I mean, if you want to get real fancy with it, you can use a little file and just get some of that extra plastic off that melted away. If you're using a Dremel, if you're using cutters, I mean, maybe the cut is even cleaner. So. Okay, so there we go, start to finish. Just showed you how to install some OEM running boards in a 2018 Volkswagen Atlas. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you got something negative, positive to say, or maybe even throughout the video where you were stuck on something or confused or didn't understand something that I was trying to explain, just leave me a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Last but not least, for you new viewers, the ones that are just checking out my channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because every couple weeks I should be posting a new video. Also, last but not least, if you have any kind of ideas on what you would like to see next, I know some of you already hit me up about some Apple products, but unfortunately I do apologize. I don't have any Apple products. I live the Droid life. But if I do get my hands on someone that does have a Apple product, maybe I can see if I can borrow it and then kind of tinker with it and then fulfill some of y'all requests that y'all have. But as of right now, unfortunately, no. Sorry, I can't help you out with the Apple products. But with the other stuff that was requested, I am already looking into it and see if I can make a video for that. But that's it, YouTube. Until next time, take it easy.